A shocking revelation has shaken the Roloff world. Whispers of a $2.5 million debt trap, secret financial decisions, and the slow crumble of what was once one of TLC's most beloved families. For years, fans have followed Amy Roloff's journey, her marriage, her heartbreak, her strength, and her quest for peace after parting ways with Matt Roloff. She was the emotional anchor of Little People, Big World, the mom who kept the family grounded through fame, feuds, and the relentless spotlight. But now, new allegations are surfacing that suggest Amy's peace may have come at an unimaginable price. Behind the smiles, the cooking videos, and the farmhouse nostalgia, there are claims of hidden debts, financial manipulation, and emotional sabotage, all pointing to a tangled web that may have been set up to destroy everything she built. The phrase "fall of the Roloff Empire" is spreading across fan pages, podcasts, and Reddit threads. What began as a simple family show has turned into a complex saga of business deals, power struggles, and betrayal. Fans are asking, was Amy the victim of a cruel financial setup, or did she unknowingly walk into a trap crafted by those closest to her? Tonight, we pull back the curtain on the Roloff family's hidden debt saga, from shady property deals and legal filings that never made it to TV, to vanishing millions and the emotional toll that may have pushed Amy to her breaking point. This isn't just about money, it's about trust, legacy, and the dark side of fame, where one wrong decision can turn a dream into a downfall. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. The whispers of a $2.5 million financial pitfall first began when fans noticed inconsistencies in the Roloff family's property and business dealings. After Matt and Amy's divorce, ownership of Roloff Farms became a hotbed of tension. Amy sold her share, but did she truly walk away clean? According to reports and fan theories, Amy might have unknowingly signed off on deals that left her tied to lingering liabilities, silent debts connected to the farm's maintenance, taxes, and expansion loans. These obligations, buried deep within contract fine print, could have ballooned into massive hidden costs. Some believe it was a deliberate setup, a financial trap laid to make Amy appear financially unstable, pushing her into dependence or debt. Others think it was simply a product of poor legal advice and years of complicated family business entanglements. Whatever the truth may be, this $2.5 million debt rumor has ignited fiery debates online. Was Amy a victim of manipulation, or was she simply caught in the crossfire of Roloff Farms' collapsing empire? Fans recall how the cracks began long before Amy ever signed away her share of the property. For years, Roloff Farms had operated as both a business and a symbol, the heart of the family's reality TV success. It hosted pumpkin season events, drew thousands of tourists, and generated steady income for the Roloffs. But behind the smiling TV facade, things weren't as perfect as they seemed. Maintaining the sprawling Oregon property came with massive expenses: insurance, staffing, maintenance of equipment, and agricultural upkeep. Add to that the constant renovations Matt loved to pursue, treehouses, barns, and custom structures, and the bills reportedly kept climbing. Amy, ever the cautious spender, often clashed with Matt's more ambitious ideas. She frequently expressed concern over how the farm's profits were being used and whether they truly covered the costs. Fans who followed the show closely noticed her growing frustration, particularly in the final seasons before her departure from the property. When Amy finally agreed to sell her share to Matt, the deal seemed straightforward. She'd receive a lump sum payout and move forward with her life. But legal experts have since pointed out how property settlements involving shared businesses can hide long-term financial strings, from back taxes to profit-loss discrepancies that remain unresolved. The question many fans are now asking is, did Amy's sale truly close all her obligations? Or were there clauses in that agreement that left her partially responsible for debts tied to the farm's operations at the time? Some insiders speculate that Amy's exit may have coincided with a loan restructuring, one that reclassified certain debts under her name before her full withdrawal. If that's true, Amy might still be carrying the shadow of a farm she no longer owns. What's even more troubling is that Amy's cheerful public image may have masked deeper struggles behind the scenes. The $2.5 million figure floating online might not represent new debt, but rather the accumulated burden of past agreements she was still legally bound to, even after her sale. To understand how this kind of debt trap could happen, it's important to consider how complex the Roloff family's financial structure became after years in television. Between TLC contracts, merchandising, farm operations, and personal ventures, the Roloffs essentially ran multiple overlapping entities. If Amy's ownership was tied not only to the land but also to production rights, brand royalties, and joint accounts, the separation could have been a financial nightmare to untangle. Each signature, each clause could have had ripple effects. Legal commentators suggest that, in family businesses like this, one party often ends up carrying unseen liabilities simply because they trust too much. And if that's the case, Amy, who once described herself as a person who believes in good faith agreements, may have walked straight into a financial trap she never saw coming. As with any Roloff story, fans were quick to piece together their own theories. Reddit threads, Facebook groups, and YouTube comment sections lit up with speculation. Some pointed to Amy's recent remarks about having to take care of unexpected expenses as a subtle clue. Others argued that Matt, being the more business-savvy of the two, might have orchestrated certain deals that placed Amy at a disadvantage. A few fans even speculated that Caryn Chandler, Matt's fiancée, had indirect involvement, that perhaps her increasing role in managing the farm led to financial shifts Amy didn't anticipate. Of course, none of these claims have been confirmed, but the pattern of uncertainty has only fueled the mystery. For many longtime viewers, it feels like the once beloved farm that symbolized family unity has now become a source of ongoing financial pain. Adding fuel to the speculation, Amy's social media posts over the past year have shown subtle signs of financial and emotional strain. While she continues to project positivity, cooking, sharing recipes, and engaging with fans, certain remarks stand out. In one post, she mentioned that life after the farm still comes with surprises and lessons in letting go. Another time, she thanked her fans for standing by her during difficult transitions. Fans quickly connected these dots to the ongoing financial rumors, suggesting Amy might be quietly battling the aftermath of her farm exit. Even her husband, Chris Merck, has reportedly taken on more responsibility in managing their shared expenses and planning events to stabilize their finances. The couple has kept a brave face publicly, but close followers say their tone has shifted, less celebratory, more cautious. The biggest question remains: was Amy intentionally trapped, or was it all an unfortunate business error? Those who believe in the setup theory point to Matt's history of meticulous business control. Throughout the show, he's been portrayed as the visionary and the dealmaker, often micromanaging every detail. Critics say that level of control could have allowed him to ensure he stayed financially safe, even if it meant others, including Amy, bore the consequences. However, others defend Matt, arguing that no one could predict how complex and messy the post-divorce finances would get. They suggest that Amy might not have read every document carefully, or that her advisors simply missed the fine print. In that sense, it wouldn't be malice, just a tragic miscalculation. Beyond numbers and legalities, what's most heartbreaking is how this alleged $2.5 million debt has emotionally affected Amy. Friends describe her as someone who has always carried the weight of responsibility, especially for her children and her own sense of independence. If these debt rumors are even partially true, they could explain why Amy has been more reserved lately, avoiding direct commentary on the farm's status or any mention of its financials. The emotional toll of being tied to something she thought she'd escaped, the same land where she built memories, faced heartbreak, and rebuilt herself, must be enormous. It's not just about money, it's about freedom, closure, and peace. Some fans rally behind Amy, calling her the heart of the Roloff legacy and demanding transparency from Matt and TLC. They argue that she deserves justice if she's truly been financially burdened by hidden deals. Others are more skeptical, saying that Amy, as an experienced entrepreneur, should have known exactly what she was signing. To them, this is just another example of family business fallout, not a conspiracy. Regardless of opinion, one thing is clear. The $2.5 million debt rumor has reignited deep emotions about fairness, power, and accountability in the Roloff saga. Whether Amy was deceived, misinformed, or simply caught in a perfect storm of bad timing, the effects of this alleged debt are rippling through every part of the Roloff legacy. And as the numbers grow, so do the questions. Coming up next, we uncover the theory many fans are calling the Roloff Empire collapse, how one family's dream business may have become a ticking financial time bomb. Behind the financial chaos lies a deeper, more emotional storm. Fans now speculate that Amy's fall wasn't just about money, it was personal. For years, Amy Roloff stood as the emotional backbone of the Roloff family, the heart of little people, big world. Her laughter, her cooking, her values, all of it gave the show its warmth. But somewhere between her divorce from Matt and the gradual rise of Matt's partnership with Caryn Chandler, the balance shifted dramatically. What fans once saw as a tight-knit family turned into a battleground of silent resentment and strategic power plays. When Amy sold her share of Roloff Farms, many assumed she had made a clean break, taking her payout and walking into a peaceful new life with Chris Merrick. But new reports and theories suggest it wasn't that simple. Allegedly, the sale might have come with clauses, debts, and financial strings that kept Amy indirectly tied to the farm's burdens, especially as its value fluctuated, taxes piled up, and new projects struggled to turn profit. It's almost like Amy walked away from the farm, but the farm never really let her go. Meanwhile, Matt Roloff was quietly expanding his business dealings, often involving Caryn Chandler. From short-term rentals on the property to off-site ventures and real estate moves, Matt appeared to be consolidating his financial power. But as his empire grew, Amy's influence diminished. Some fans say this wasn't coincidence, they believe it was strategy. Whispers spread across fan forums that Matt's close circle began to rewrite the family story in subtle ways. Where Amy was once the nurturing matriarch, she was now cast as emotional, bitter, or uncooperative. Online narratives painted her as someone holding onto the past, while Caryn appeared more forward-thinking and business-savvy. For longtime viewers, it felt like watching Amy's legacy being rewritten piece by piece. And then came the tension between Amy's new marriage and her old life. Chris Merrick entered the picture as her emotional support and a partner outside the Roloff spotlight. Yet even that new chapter became intertwined with the old drama. When Amy chose to host her wedding on Roloff Farms, fans saw the symbolism, the past and the present colliding under one roof. But behind the scenes, some believe that decision reignited buried emotions and even new legal complexities tied to the property's ownership. The very place that built Amy's identity may have been the same place that broke it. As Caryn's presence in Matt's life grew stronger, the couple's joint decisions about the farm, including its potential sale and future development, reportedly excluded Amy entirely. While she was trying to move forward, new rumors of tax liens, unsettled agreements, and delayed payments seemed to pull her name back into the chaos. To fans, it began to look less like coincidence and more like a calculated marginalization. By this point, the phrase "destroy Amy's life" started trending on certain fan pages. It wasn't meant literally, but rather symbolically, the idea that Amy was being erased from her own story. Once celebrated as the face of perseverance, she was now a target of gossip and portrayed as a source of drama. Even her marriage to Chris, once a fresh start, became fodder for speculation. Was he truly her partner, or had he unknowingly stepped into a long-standing Roloff feud that would test both love and loyalty? In recent interviews, Amy has chosen her words carefully, often smiling, but rarely speaking in depth about the financial or emotional struggles that may linger behind the scenes. Her silence, some say, speaks volumes. Fans interpret her subtle online posts, reflective quotes, moments of solitude, or heartfelt gratitude as coded messages from a woman trying to reclaim her peace in a world determined to define her downfall. Whether intentional or not, the impact is undeniable. Amy's empire, built on love, family, and perseverance, seems to have crumbled under pressure, leaving behind questions that may never be fully answered. What began as a dream of family unity and simple farm life has turned into a battlefield of power, perception, and pain. And somewhere in that struggle lies the unanswered question. Was Amy Roloff simply a casualty of circumstance, or the victim of a carefully orchestrated plan to erase her from the Roloff empire she helped build? At the end of the day, the truth about Amy Roloff's alleged $2.5 million debt and the supposed fall of the Roloff Empire may never be fully uncovered. Too many stories, too many emotions, and too many secrets are tied to the family that once symbolized love, unity, and perseverance. But if there's one thing fans have learned over the years, it's that Amy Roloff has always been the heart of this story. Through heartbreak, divorce, financial strain, and public scrutiny, she has shown strength, grace, and resilience. She may have lost a farm, but she never lost herself. And while money and fame may have torn parts of this family apart, Amy's journey reminds us that rebuilding, even after betrayal, is still possible. The Roloff name will forever be remembered, not just for its success, but for the human struggles that came with it. As fans continue to watch, speculate, and support, one truth remains: family is complicated, but forgiveness and resilience are what keep the story going. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into one of reality TV's most emotional sagas. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and never stop seeking the truth.